Hello, welcome to another episode. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate it if there are any topics that you would like for us to address, either in the podcast or in a video. Please let us know. You're welcome to comment down below. Also, if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe, like it and subscribe. We sure appreciate it. But today we want to talk about a little bit more about average returns. And I'm going to show you how a positive average return in a portfolio can actually lose you money. And when someone shows you average returns, they're not telling you the whole story. We talked about this a little bit in the last YouTube video that's titled The Power of Zero, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into this topic. So we're going to say that you won $2 million in the lottery. Or maybe you inherited $2 million and you decide that you're going to invest it. And you're thinking that there's this one stock that you've just been dying to buy. You know it's a winner, but you know that you shouldn't invest all of the $2 million in that one stock. So you decide to split it up a little bit, right? And you decide to put half of it in a diversified fund, and the other half, the other $1 million, you're going to put it into that stock that you wanted to buy. So here we have your diversified fund and your XYZ stock, okay? So this first year, your diversified fund went up 30%. Amazing, right? You're rocking and rolling. But even better, XYZ stock that you picked was up 60%. Awesome. You've picked two winners, but now you're thinking, man, I should have put it all into that stock, right? It went up 60%. So you're doing great. Things are looking good. The next year comes, right? Year two, we're down 10%. Well, the way our brains work is that you're thinking, okay, I was up 30%, I was down 10%. That means I'm averaging, I'm still up 20%, or that 20% divided by 2, right? We divide that by 2, we're averaging 10% a year. Not bad, right? All right. So let's look at your other stock and that holding. Well, you were up 60%, but now you're down 40. So this year is down 40%. But again, you're thinking, okay, and the way our brains work is I was up 60, I'm down 40, right? I'm still up a positive 20%. If we divide that by 2, I'm still averaging 10% a year. Not bad. And that's how the math looks, right? But here's the problem, is we need to now look at the math that we've done and actually put it together and marry it with our money, right? So we have $1 million. We made 30% that first year. So we now have $1,300,000. Pretty good. But now we lost 10% in that second year, right? Well, what's 10% of 1.3 million? Right. So now we're down 130,000. So now our value is 1,170,000. Not bad. That's pretty good. But what's 170,000 gain? That's a 17% gain overall. Still not bad. You did a pretty good job. Well, let's take a look at your stock. You were up 60%, so you had a $600,000 gain in 1 year. That's amazing, right? You now have $1.6 million that you have. That was an incredible gain. But now it's down 40% that second year. Well, what is 40% of 1.6 million, or 1,600,000? Right, it's 640,000. So if we've lost 640,000, that actually puts us, right, our ending value at $960,000. So we're actually down from where we started by $40,000 or 4%. So we've actually lost 4% here. So how is it that we still have a positive average gain, right? But we've lost $40,000 or 4%. And here's the dirty little secret to this, is when you see the same average return, tighter ranges between the positive and the negative, the tighter that range is, lead to different results, right? Tighter ranges are more efficient, and you end up making more money on the tighter ranges, right? To use a baseball analogy, we could say that a batter hitting singles and doubles is gonna do better and lead to better results than the batter that's swinging for the fences all the time, but might strike out more often. And the key lesson here is that losses hurt more than gains. And I said that in the last video. Losses hurt more than gains help. And let's look at why. So if you have $100,000 and after that first year you've lost 20% or $20,000, at the end of the first year you have 80,000. So what sort of return is it going to take to get back to even? Is it going to be 20% again? Well, let's do the math, and you can do it at home. If we do 20% of 80,000, that's $16,000. So 80,000 plus 16,000 is only 96,000. That doesn't get us back to even. We need to make up the full 20,000. And if you do the math, it turns out to be 25%. So we lost 20, but we need to make up 25 just to get back to even. And by the way, you may be saying, right, but you did the gains first and the losses second, or the losses first and the gains second. It doesn't matter the order. You can do it however you want. And I'm going to show you two different portfolios that do this. So this is how markets work over time. We want those ranges to be tighter, right? So now let's apply this to the real world. And we're going to compare two portfolios. And I'm going to go ahead and put them up on the screen so you can take a look at them while I'm talking. So portfolio one. This is a diversified stock portfolio. This is invested in the S&P 500, and this is using Vanguard's funds. And so you can go take a look at the returns and make sure I'm right here. But if we go back to the year 2000, and you can see the beginning balance is $1 million. And we're going to run the portfolio through 2020. So you can see you've got a net return of negative 9.06. And if you look at all of the reds, those are anytime there's a loss in the portfolio. If you see a green, it means there was a gain of 10% or more. If you see the black, it just means there was a gain, but it wasn't over 10%. So you can see, you know what, after 10 years, we're almost down $100,000. And if we look at 9 years, in the year 2008, we'd be down at $712,000 and change. In 2009, at the end of 2009, we're up at $901,000, down almost 100 grand. But then we get a lot of good years in a row there, right? We have one bad year in 2018 where the market's down, but overall we end up at $3.75 million. Not bad. That looks pretty good. We had some rough years in there, but overall it did pretty well. And our average overall return, as you can see, is 8.08%. So overall, that's not bad. We ended up making a lot of money, but it was a big roller coaster of a ride there, wasn't it? So now I'm going to put up the second portfolio. This is diversified assets. We've got precious metals and gold. We have a fixed indexed annuity in here, so it helps limit the losses. But you can see that we start in the year 2000, and we've got some greens and we've got reds and we've got more blacks mixed in there. But the range of those returns is definitely tighter. We don't see as many greens, and we don't see as high of returns, but we don't see the big losses either, right? So look what happens. After 10 years, in 2009, we're still at $1.8 million. At the lowest point here in 2008, with the other one where we were down almost 300,000 to 712, we're at 1.5, almost 1.6 million. 2009, we're at 1.8 million. And we end up at $4.77 million. Almost, well, a little over $1 million more, all because we don't have those losses in there, right? And I was looking at it in the first portfolio, we have 12 green years, 5 down years, 5 negative years, and 4 black years where we didn't return quite 10%. In the second portfolio, we've got 4 red years, so 4 negative years, 10 green years, so less green years, right? Less bigger years, and 7 black years, and we have more of those. So that range we've kept tighter, right? So if you look at the overall return on that second portfolio as well, it is 8.08%, the same average return as the first portfolio. So a lot of people are probably thinking now, well, if they have the same average overall return, why didn't it return the same result? And by the way, which one of these portfolios would you choose? Right. Most of you, knowing the whole picture, are obviously going to choose the second one where it doesn't have near as much fluctuation to it, right? And remember, it goes back to what we just said. It's due to the risk and the negative returns. Remember, losses hurt you more than gains help you. The tighter the range we stay in, the better the outcome. This is what large endowments and the wealthy and institutional investors know. A wealthy individual doesn't come into our office or into any office and say, how much money are you going to make? They're going to ask about the risks that we're taking, right? Because if we narrow that range of returns and we're more consistent with our returns, that's how you win the game. That's how you make your money last longer. And that's the problem with just looking at your average return and not looking at the whole picture. That's our show for today. If you have any questions or you want us to review your portfolio or plan, give us a phone call. Our number is 951-244-6702. Leave some comments below. If you'd like to see anything in the future, please let us know. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope to see you in our office soon.